Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Minecraft Meetup. We're a little bit late getting in this morning. We had some other things to take care of. We're going to get right into it today. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. Hey, this one. Okay. And today we're going to be talking about some other things that you can do with your coding agent. So I'm going to go ahead and resume in here. And yeah, we're working on some Rails and stuff, but we're going to go ahead and go down here. Go over here where there's really not a whole lot. Okay, so I'm going to go into my coding agent and we're going to just go ahead and start a new project today. Maybe. It's going a little slow. We're going to call this one extras. Okay, so one of the things that I was looking at in here was we've actually got some things where we can, it's already kind of built in as far as code goes, but we've got where we can actually do some text. And if you look here, we've got some text where we can use like variables and different things like that, but we can actually print out some stuff that we want it to say. So we've got some like where we can join hello world together, length of hello. We can actually put some text in here under blocks. Here we go. I think it's under blocks. Yes, it's right here. So one of the things that we can do within the text here is that we can say print hello, or we can say print whatever we want. So we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to put this on start. Okay. And instead of saying hello, we're going to say something else. We're going to say howdy because, we're here in Texas. And instead of using a block of grass, we're actually going to use something that will be easily seen in the sky. I'm going to look for sandstone here. Okay. And we can put it at a certain coordinate if we want. If we leave it at 0, it's going to be just right on the ground. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that, and we'll hit play. Now, let's see if it. And if you'll notice, our agent just wrote out the word howdy, and it is 1 block off the ground. Okay. Okay, 1 block off the ground. You'll see here, it's just 1 block off the ground. So how could we make sure that it's actually even on the ground? I go back into my code, and instead of it's going to be on this middle one here, and we're going to put it as a -1 like that, and we'll see what that does. And you'll see that he's dug into the ground a little bit in order to put it, because he's below the ground. He actually went down in here to do it, but it actually ended up on the ground there. So there's our -1. So again, if -1 is actually on the ground and then 0 is just one above that, of course, then it's going to be if I go 1, it's going to be 2 up and so forth. So that's how I can do this, and I can make this say whatever I would like. So let's see what else I can do with my coding agent. I'm going to hit the C again, and I'm going to go back into my blocks here because this is where I got it from. I got it from the blocks. Okay, and you can see where of course, we can place things. We can test for certain things. Let's say that we put our coding agent in on the ground here, and we can test for blocks of grass. And if he finds blocks of grass, then of course then something else can happen. So that's almost like with a for and with our some of our statements that we've we've done before. Okay. Um, we could put levers on the blocks. We could replace block with a block of from to. So again, we would need some coordinates for this. We can clone. So if I'm working on a building, here, let me just get out of here. And he'll come out here again, and he's gonna make howdy again. But like I've been working on this building over here, and if I wanted to clone some of this building, I actually could. Um, by using the blocks, I can clone the blocks, clone a row of blocks, or I can clone a whole series of different blocks by using my coding agent. So very interesting how we can do that. So I'm going to go back into my coding. So there's still even, there's a lot of things that we can do here with the code. Now a couple of things that we haven't looked at too much. We haven't looked too much at the player aspect of this. And again, basically we've looked at what the agent can do. But under player we have on chat, on whatever command we decide to put in there, then it's going to do something. On item used, we can say different things. Now you know that within the command, if we put say and then we put something, then it'll say what we said to everybody that is in the world with us, right? um, and I'm not sure. You saw earlier we had a horse die, and I don't know if maybe they got caught into one of the holes that we've had out there from where we've blown up TNT earlier last week, and just things like that. So, but when a player dies, we can have things happen. When a player um, does any one of these things, we can have certain things happen. So it's based on events. It can be based on outcomes, any number of things within that player. We haven't really looked at mobs either, and with when we could spawn certain animals, and when a certain animal is killed or a certain type of mob is killed, things can happen. Um, and you'll see that the difference between animal and monster. So if I click in here, it's going to list all of the monsters that are in here. Now, again, in order to spawn a monster or use a monster, you cannot be on peaceful and creative. You can be on creative, but you have to be on easy or a level higher than easy. So to be in creative, you have to be on and easy. If I'm in survival mode, of course, I can spawn any monster that I want because it's survival mode. So that's something to think about if you wanna use this particular tool. And I'm gonna move him back in here. I'm gonna go back into the mobs and see what other things I can do. Um, I can apply. What would this be? I can apply. Ooh, I can apply any number of these different elements to a player for I can give them blindness. Oh my gosh, or night vision, or levitation. If I'm in survival mode, of course, everybody has flying ability and creative. Absorption. I'm not sure what absorption is. Um, I can have them wither, which means that they're kind of like dying. I can apply a poison to another player. And again, I'm doing this all through code, not through anything else other than code. So there's a lot of different things that we can do in here as far as using the mobs and using the players, and of course using the blocks. Like when we we printed the word howdy, and we did it here. Now I'm not sure if we changed this, what would happen if we changed this. So we're gonna do it easy just to see what happens here. I think it's doing it backwards. It sure is. So it did it west is this way, and it started writing it east this way. But it did the same thing. It wrote both of those. So I wonder if I can actually see what this code really looks like. I'm going to remove this one here because we don't need this one. So we're going to take a look at the JavaScript and see what the JavaScript for this particular amount of code. Oh, look at that. Smooth Sand Zone. so we blocks dot print, and then we put it in quotes. We put the word howdy, and then we use with a comma, smooth sandstone position, and then we had the position that we typed in there, east. So it's going to make it go east. So now we know that this way is east and this way is west. And we put the other quotes there. Now, what if I want to see what it looks like in Python? In Python, it is a little bit different here. Let's go ahead and move this over. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we go. So we're going to move this guy over just a little bit so we can see everything. And it's pretty much the same language. I mean, it's a different language, but it's pretty much the same type of commands. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my puzzle piece because I like using the puzzle pieces. It's easier. All right, so we've looked at things that we can do as far as creating some text in there. Now, if I wanted to change some of this, I want to see what these shapes do, because I've been very interested in what these shapes can do. So we're going to take this one out. We're going to take this one, throw it out, and we're going to put this one in here. We're going to make a circle of cobblestone. Okay, and remember the 0 is going to be on, with a radius of 5 from east to west. I'm not sure what the replace is. We're going to leave it like that because I'm not sure what it means yet. So this would be a great opportunity for us to learn this. Well, that's very interesting. It made almost like a pyramid. Well, okay. So that's replace. So let's walk over here a little bit. And we're going to go back in there again. And instead of doing replace this time, we're going to do a hollow. Oh my goodness. I'm like in the ground. Where did I go? Back up in here. Oh no, I'm falling. All right, let's take a look here. So it made a circle, and when it made the circle, I was standing in there, and then I fell into the nether down there. Okay, so now I'm kind of understanding this, and this is at the 0. So if we did higher, then it would be up in the air. Okay. All right, I get it now. And what's the other one? The other one I think is outline, so it's going to make an outline of it around the outline. So, all right, now I understand what that is. And let's take a look at the builder. And this one I'm still not sure on. I'm gonna have to check out that one a little bit later on. But that's our builder there. We know what functions are. The arrays, I'm still working on those as well, because those are a little tricky because you really have to know your math in order to do those. So you might want to look at those at some point. Let's look at gameplay. Okay, so the gameplay is we could have it be weather clear. Of course, we could have it be weather rainy or thunder, right? We know that. And what else is under gameplay? Downfall means it's going to rain heavily or we're going to have it stop raining. We can have it day or night. We can change the difficulty to peaceful to easy to whatever. We can change the game rule. So that way, you know how when we put in the WB, the world builder, we can adjust that all through the gameplay. The position. So these are the positions of where we're spawning and where our coding agent is going to be, right? And of course, we know what the basics are: the placing blocks, teleporting our agent, all of that good stuff. So that's kind of what those are. We know what the loops are. Okay. So we can do unstar, we can do a forever, we can repeat, which is what we normally do. We use repeat blocks for that. And while something is true, do this. And so if it's false, then do something else. So like if I put my coding agent here on the ground and I said, while there's a green block of grass in front of you, continue to move forward. If there's not a green block of grass in front of you, stop, right? For if this equals this, which is this one right here, this value of the list, this is what we used when we made the pyramid. We took a value and then we added one to that value, or took one away from that value to make it to make the pyramid. Okay. All right, we know the logic. Our logic is if this is true, then, which is kind of like the loops a little bit, but it's actually it's if and for statements. So, and here we go. Or and is when they both are true, or is one or the other is true, or not is when we're looking for one that is false, right? And our variables, of course, if we make variables, which is what we did before, that's how we made our pyramid. Go back and check that one out. Some of our math, if this is true, then this. If this is not true, then this. So if we can actually create math facts here and say, all right, if this is true, if 4 times 2 is 8, then spawn a chicken. If 4 times 2 does not equal 8, then, stop or dig a hole. So that's how you can use some of the math that's in there. And there's some other great stuff in here. And we're going to probably be talking about using more of the text and the builder at another time. I was just interested in looking at what the shapes can do. And of course, writing in the sky. I really like that I can fill an area, and that I can print things, and I can print them in the air. I can print them on the ground. And I can actually add other things to the ground, all with blocks. So I'm going to play around with cloning a little bit, because, when I build, I usually build one block at a time by myself. And it would be nice if I could learn how to clone or to fill an area. I just need to learn how to read my coordinates better, and I'm hoping that you're doing that as well. So with that said, we're going to take this and we're going to print goodbye, and we're going to make this out of we'll make it out of lava, and we're going to make this -1. We're going to do it from the west. Oh, it did say goodbye, but it is now lava. So, all right then. Well, have a good time. Keep on crafting. Stay safe. Listen to what the parameters are for your town, or if you're here in El Paso, which most of you are, for what they're telling us to do. Just be careful and make good choices for yourself and for your family. Wash your hands.